Legend here, and today we've got a Rating Your Doomstack video covering a Dryka Malevolent Branchwraith Doomstack, where he's got 12 Malevolent Branchwraiths, 4 of each Law of Magic, 6 Malevolent Treemen with the aspect of the Oak, which I think is the right one to pick, Coadil and Dryka. So let's jump into the battle here. We're up on large unit scale, and we're up against 3 Black Arc Dark Elves with some very late game armor-piercing and anti-large armies. So he's really picked a strong army, sort of, and gone up against a not ideal situation on bad map against an enemy that is very difficult for the Wood Elves to normally deal with. I would say that out of all the possible other factions, the Dark Elves are probably the most difficult for the Treeman Doomstack to deal with, just because of how much armor-piercing stuff they've actually got. Most other factions just don't have as much. They're just really good at dishing out damage to Dark Elves. Albeit they'd be a bit squishy. Okay, so what we want to do here is come and stand over here because we've got all Vanguard deployment. I actually think that our force here is not really that well equipped for dealing with these full 3 armies here, so we're going to basically take advantage of our situations here, whatever we've got. Because they've all got Vanguard deployment, we'll put them in a, we'll camp at their reinforcement zone. Because there's no trees to hide in. If there were trees to hide in, I'd totally do that, because that would give us more winds of magic, give us loads more resistances, but yeah, we don't have that here. So this army can't fight at its full potential. And another thing, and I think this is what the biggest problem with this army is, it has too many Branchwraiths, I think. There are, for one thing, having variety of Winds of Magic doesn't necessarily make the army stronger, especially when the other Winds of Magic don't fulfill a boosting role. So for example, Beast Magic. Beast Magic is just awful. There is no reason to recruit a Beast Wizard over any other type of wizard. It's just that all of the spells in the Law of Beasts are awful. The Law of Life is definitely the best one because it complements everything to do with a Malevolent Treeman stack or single entity stack. Use Life Magic to heal, does loads of damage, and it's got the buff spells that really complement Treemen. So Life Magic is just perfect for the Wood Elves. Shadow Magic isn't bad, it's good Law of Magic, it's just that it's a little bit redundant. Any of the spells that are in the Law of Shadows can very easily just be, like, the effects of them can be done with the Law of Life. For example, Pit of Shades, you can just use a Dweller's Blow. Even though Dweller's Blow is a little bit more expensive, it kind of does more damage anyway. Anyway, let's just jump into the battle and see how it goes. So, bounce power was in our favor to begin with. Okay, and ideally we want to be getting into melee with them as soon as possible, just so that we can start casting straight away and really getting rid of some of their melee infantry here. That's it. And if we can stop some of their moving, that would be good. Okay, shades are definitely a problem. We want to be dwellers belowing them. So yeah, it's just like, you've got the Curse of Anru here. That's probably the best spell in this Law of Magic. Give the enemy a debuff, but I don't think it's essential. I don't value debuffs as much as damage spells on campaigns. I'll move out of the way. But I will try to utilize all of the Laws of Magic, even though I don't feel like I need to. Just because that's what's part of this army. This is a good ability sometimes. Problem is, if I cast it here, it's just going to instantly die. That's a big problem with it. The campaign has progressed well beyond the need for Dryads. So grouping this ability here with Dwellers Below works out reasonably well. The problem is, for a net spell, it doesn't last very long. But yeah, Dark Shards and Shades are probably some of the most dangerous units for a treatment stack to deal with. And if we could just get them off the battlefield sooner rather than later, that would be good. Does anybody else have that ability? No. Rest of their forces over here. 2 full stacks getting organized. Alright, if we pop down a Melkoth Mystifying Miasma, that will slow them down. Are you in range to pop? Yep, there we go. Slow them down completely. Now, it was good that we sort of took out this army here early. Gives us time to recover from it. Cool, just get them off the battlefield. That's what we want to see. I'll stand over here. Yeah, that's no threat. At least all their missile units are done for now. But it's very important to keep this sort of army together. You don't want to spread them out. Branchwraiths are really bad if they get surrounded. And treatment aren't great if they get surrounded either, which is why you keep them together. So we've also got Shield of Thorns, but it's only 4 winds of magic. Yeah, maybe I'll use it when the real fight begins. Okay, and just keep healing. So bounce of power is not looking good. We had 400 winds of magic to begin with, so we've used about 1/5 of it. So we used the Earthblood because only 2 winds of magic because of Coadil, whereas this is 9 winds of magic. So you just get way more efficiency out of that, even if you're not actually hitting all 4 of them being damaged. Even if there's a little bit of waste, 2 winds of magic is just too cheap. Okay, now we're going to want to have our backs to a corner, because getting surrounded with this army is not ideal. Oh, more corner camping? Well, it's effective. You want me to use the army to its full potential, you gotta use the terrain to your advantage. Oh god, Coadil, what the fuck? Don't you have any missile resistance? Not a lot. So, kind of hoping they'd walk through that a bit. They're not. Well, then we'll just keep hitting them then. Need more wins. Alright, let's maybe use some Pits of Shades in their vulnerable spots. This is another thing about corner camping is, oh my god, they're really going for Coadil there. Get him out of there. These guys here probably have way more missile resistance. Yeah, they do. That's why they're going for Coadil. It might be better just to get him off the battlefield. I don't know if I can save him here. But, you know, I'm not going to withdraw him until the last moment. Let's try to just keep healing him in the meantime. But I don't think charging in at them is going to work because we're not exactly very fast. Just keep generating the wins. Fuck me, I'm going to have to go at them. We're just dishing out too much damage to us. Alright, Coadil needs to leave. It's a bit of a shame, but he's just taking too much damage. He doesn't have as much missile resistance as the others. Alright, let's maybe use this as well. Keep them pinned down while we're coming in. Okay, we're starting to take a fair bit of damage. I really need more arcane conduits. This is good that they're doing that. Bouncer power, I think, has improved a little bit. Okay, we got some arcane conduits coming in any moment now. Gotta get those dwellers below down. It just absolutely wrecks Dark Elves. Alright, we got loads of winds coming in. Gotta be using the dwellers below here. Rather than the healing. Although healing's only 2 winds of magic, try to keep this one here alive. Keep him pinned down. Don't think they're really using magic. Slow them down with that. No, don't bother with that. Oh, dragon coming in. That's okay, I think we can handle that. That's not too bad. It's more the Blackguard of Nagaron and Shades and Dark Shards that I'm more concerned about. We're doing okay. I don't think we're taking too much damage here. It's funny how Coadil was the one we had to get off the battlefield. He was just too squishy against this. Alright, there's not a whole lot of infantry left remaining, so Dwellers Below is not going to be that useful. Now we're focusing on heal magic, and I guess debuffs. Actually, you know what? I kept saying to use the Shield of Thorn. Let's do that. Oh, there's the Ambulances anyway. Alright, cool. I quite often forget about using the Shield of Thorns, because I don't normally need it. There we go. Alright, so we just got these guys here to go kill. Yeah, they're not getting anywhere. Alright. Now let's evaluate this. Perfect victory. Okay, fair enough. I mean, we did take a fair bit of damage on these guys here. Also, 35% missile resistance. Can't you get a lot higher than that with them? I feel like you can get them up to 50%. I'm gonna have to look at it, because I did a Draka campaign recently, and I got them up to like 50% missile resist. They were like 35%. Oh wow, okay. Well beyond the point of needing a Doomstack. Alright, let's have a look here. So their missile resistance, 35%. Let me see, how'd you level up Draka? Ah! Wrong! Wrong! You're missing Ancient Bark. Physical resistance 10% for Treekin and Treemen. Oh my god, do you know how good that is for them? And then you've got... where is it? The Forest Roar. 15%. I knew you could get more missile resistance for Treemen. So what did you go with? What did you focus on? Like making Drika better in melee over this stuff? Wrong. Definitely less value in that than in here. I mean, do whatever you want, for sure. This is fine. Yeah, I have no problem with that. You want to reduce those upkeep costs. Yeah, you definitely want to get Mantra of the Fallen. But these here, you definitely didn't need that. You got 5 points here for that. That's not needed. I didn't even use those spells. That's fine. But yeah, even just getting Ancient Bark, because I only need 6 points to get to here. Ancient Bark is really good for them, because they've already got a fair bit of physical resistance, and adding more physical resistance on top of that just would have made them even more tankier than Coadil. It doesn't apply to Coadil because he's a hero, and those red line skills don't affect heroes. And as for him, I guess you just could have given him something like if, yeah, there's a lot more things you could have given him for missile resistance, I suppose, which would have been more useful, because that's what really wrecked him there. And I suppose, yeah, the right ones have been done here. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I would say that your red line skills, you definitely should have gone down them. It just boosts them by so much. Looking at this, you went down with Aspect of the Willow, which is the correct one to go for. You want to get that physical resistance. Their armor is not important. Physical resistance is way better than armor. Okay. So let me evaluate this. Looking at your other armies, what's the max capacity for Branchwraiths? 23. Okay. So if you've got 12 in this army, that means that there's another 11 walking around everywhere. So you're on very hard difficulty. So you got 10 armies, so 9 other armies. That means each of your other armies can have 1 Branchwraith, and 2 of your armies can have 2 of your other armies. So I would say that it's better to evenly distribute the 23 Branchwraiths among all of your armies than to dump like half of your Branchwraiths into one army. Because while we did actually get a lot of use out of the Winds of Magic, there were certainly times in that battle where I was at 30 Winds of Magic, and there were times where I could have actually really used more Treemen, because these guys here took a beating, and if I had, say, another 6 Treemen in this army, so we had 12 Treemen, what that would have done was spread out the amount of damage, and also spread out the healing a lot more, so we wouldn't have needed to continuously just keep focusing on Coadil. And also, I could have hidden Coadil amongst other Treemen. Of course, you did fight them in an area that was disadvantageous to you, so I've got to give you some credit for that. But I don't think that this is better than a regular Treemen stack. So I'm giving this a rating. In terms of convenience, it's not convenient at all. It's obviously very powerful in terms of magic, but you only really need 2 or 3 Branchwraiths to get like a really good use out of magic anyway. So I would say a lot of that is actually redundant. Putting beast magic and shadow magic in the army, I just don't think is needed. That's just a personal preference thing, I guess, if that's what we do. I just feel like for Wood Elves, life magic just got all your bases covered. It's just really good lore of magic. So I'm going to give this 7 out of 10. It is a Doomstack, but barely, and there's a lot of inefficiencies in here. I'm going to drop, I would have given it 8 out of 10 if you had have gotten Ancient Bark and the Forest Roar instead of this stuff here. This did not help you at all. Because I don't think Dryka was in melee for most of the battle. We were using magic. So you've not specialized your army in such a way to improve it. Like, 30 extra armor? Armor's not that important when dealing with Dark Elves, because like most of their abilities here are armor piercing, so it was completely bypassed. So it just didn't need it. It's just a waste. And you know, physical resistance will bypass it. Will bypass their armor piercing. And since you've already got so much physical resistance on top of that, that 10% actually adds up to being more like 17-18% extra resistance, because it all just adds onto each other rather than being multiplicative. So in this way it's actually stronger. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I don't recommend this is actually probably one of the lesser Doomstacks that's been sent in from the Wood Elves, apart from like the Great Stag Doomstack. That was rubbish. But I think the real reason this falls down is just an imbalance of magic over tankiness, and the faction effects of just not being able to have like infinite number or 100 Branchwraiths. You'd just be better spreading them out evenly as opposed to just going full Branchwraiths. That's what I think anyway. Anyway, that's the end of this one here. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.